This podcast is brought to you by PwC.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Family Office Insights, our podcast interviewing experts on topics that are of interest to family offices. Today, I'm really happy to be joined by Antonios Koumbarakis. He's a partner in our Sustainability Competence Centre, helping clients in their regulatory and reporting transformation topics. He also leads our sustainable capital practice. Antonios, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So let's jump straight in. What's keeping you busy at the moment?
I would say the regulatory landscape is currently massive for all of our clients. As you're aware, there are over 3,000 legislation on climate in the market, and to understand and to navigate it really pragmatic keeps me busy on my daily job. Of course, as you are aware, we all want to reach the 1.5 climate goals, and in this context also it is key to understand that behavioral change can come due to two areas. On one hand, by regulation, where we are currently in. So all the companies have to report, because first what you need is to know what is your CO2 equivalent, but also what is your water exposure. Depends in which industry you are. And after that, you have also to show how you decarbonize, meaning our clients currently, of course, they are really busy with the legislation in Switzerland on RBI or the CSRD, the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. But more key for our clients is, how they reach these paths to reduce the CO2 emissions, particularly selecting scenarios, how this works with carbon removables, because you're only credible in the market, not only to have a sustainability report where you disclose your daily information, but also to really show how to mitigate and how easy you pass to net zero.
Yeah. And when you say 3,000 pieces of legislation, where is that? That's not just Switzerland, is it?
This is correct, meaning this is on globally. We have global initiatives, as you know, TCFD, for example, SBGRI standards. These are global initiatives, but around the world, for example, in the US, you have the SEC disclosure regulations. You have in the financial industry the NAME Act that pops up and evaluates what is the substance of a sustainable product. In the European Union, that is currently leading and driving all the regulatory initiatives, in particularly coming from sustainable finance now to the EU Green Deal. And also in Switzerland, we have a huge exposure due to our interconnectedness with the European market. Around 60% of our exports will be in the European Union. That's the reason why it's also planned by Switzerland to align the responsible business initiatives as of this summer with the upcoming CSRD. But you have also China. China, as you are aware, the last 3 weeks has moved also in the direction for the listed stock companies on the Chinese market to report their double materiality and also ESG criteria. Singapore is also very interesting. They come up with a transitional taxonomy. This is the contrary of the EU taxonomy. And there are a lot of initiatives around the globe that should be taken into account. And of course, when you are a global player, all these will hit you at a certain stage.
Yeah, there's a lot to get your head around, isn't there?
Yeah.
So if we look at family offices specifically, we see that the general topic of sustainability is something that they're very interested in. Perhaps we could start by looking at impact investing. So we see increasing demand from families to start impact investing. And it's really difficult in this space to get exact numbers, but it's clear that more and more is being allocated into this space. And actually we've paired up with the Impact Office who focus on this specifically. What do you see in the market in terms of impact investing? Is it easy to find the right investment? Is it easy to assess whether it's actually an impact investment? How do you assess the outcomes?
First of all, this is a really, really good question regarding impact generally, meaning what is the common understanding of impact investing? First of all, to come to that, I would like to outline a little bit, where we stand in the market, where we come from. We come from responsible investing, meaning using exclusion policies and doing ESG integration, combining these both strategies. But this is not, of course, not the expected impact where you would like to reach. Now the question is, where is the biggest impact? Is that when you focus on topic investments or theme investments, as for example, water, social housing, carbon electrolysis, in particularly carbon capture technologies, solar, wind, etc. These are the topic investments, but also accordingly, to the common regulatory aspects, impact can be in microfinance on one hand. It can be in private equity funds, where you have an impact concretely, and also real estate. These are only three of potential areas where you can invest your money with an impact. But now the question is, how a real estate portfolio provide this impact, and what are the data behind of that. And this is really key to have credible data, meaning and I use the real estate sector as an easiest example, because there you have to build behind of your real estate portfolio energy efficient management system, where you collect the corresponding data, meaning concrete carbon intensity per square meters, is not only to have GEAC or Minenergie certificates, and then also evaluate the decarbonization path of your portfolios, of your real estate portfolios that are in as a key. And then when you can show that and say, look, this is also combined with social housing as team, for example, then you can reach this impact. Otherwise, it is less credible. And what we see currently, and also have seen in the past, there have been several promises that this is an impact investing, but on the other hand, it was being used only exclusion policy or ESG integration because the understanding of impact was not reflected. Then the other thing is, of course, you can link as impact investing, also combining due to as the sustainable development goals, for example. This is also linked, but you can make or choose a product where without using using the sustainability goals, this is not green, meaning every product can at the end be automatically mapped to the SDGs to such extent. It's more what is really the contribution to the SDGs. On the other hand, impact is also determined by kind of voting and engagement strategies. So you can have an impact on the companies that you are invest, meaning this is where the market goes, but we are not yet there, because everybody has now starting with integrating ESG, meaning the topic or the idea of the double materiality, where you have the financial impact regarding to the risks, meaning stranded asset approach, for example, play a role, scenario analysis, sensitivity analysis, or the concentration risk of your investments, for example, in oil and gas companies. This is key, but at the end of the day, it should be really go in the direction that you create this dedicated impact that you wish.
Yeah. Well, actually, that leads on to the next question I was going to ask you was, I think some of the families that we work with and the family offices have been burned by greenwashing. What's your view on greenwashing now? Is the market improving? Is it? How do families ensure that they're investing into what they think? And is the data there?
Yeah. First of all, it's also to have here a common understanding what is greenwashing. Greenwashing can be on the entity level where you invest itself, meaning greenwashing can be, you have a sustainability report, but do not have a credible transition plan, meaning these diverge totally. On the other hand, when you look on product level now, let's take a look on funds, etc. There are several regulatory frameworks around the globe. We have combined that and built kind of an anti-greenwashing framework. So this helps our clients to navigate. And when you dive therein, can be greenwashing in the way of impact that we named. You have a product that does not fulfill, or you don't show on a quantitative level what is the impact concretely. On the other hand, it can be data, meaning you have to validate also your data. Data can also be a huge risk. Make an easy example. You will use the MSCI data or Sustainalytics data as initial data. But these ratings diverge. For example, when you take a look on the MSCI, it's built on the overall score, ESG score, and this will be distinguished between E, S, and G score. Guess how many percentage, has the E score at the current stage an impact on the overall rating? How many percentage?
50%?
No, 5%.
5?
Yeah.
Really?
It's really because the data there are not yet so good, and this is really key. And on the other hand, we have done analysis on, for example, from the SMI, where we took a look on all the stocks, on the listed stocks, and compare the ratings.
Yeah.
And these diverge totally. You can have a really good rating for one SMI company from MSCI, where it looks a little bit better or bad for Sustainalytics scoring. So where is the real truth behind of that? And these requests at the end from our clients, dedicated research, or to have a concept in place that combines all the relevant aspects. But beside of that, you have to have an investment strategy in place in which direction you would like to go, and to identify the opportunities around that.
Yeah. It's really complicated, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. Not so easy. But
that's why you're busy.
It keeps you busy also, yeah.
And if we turn then sustainability and philanthropy, so it seems an obvious way for families to marry the two together, their philanthropic passions and sustainability, and not only providing that financial support, but by leveraging their networks, providing expertise to really drive change. Is that what you're seeing in the market? Does it kind of, for families and family offices, go hand in hand with a philanthropy strategy?
Yes, can be, meaning definitely it's more of, it's kind of behavior, what you would like to reach, or what kind of goal you would like to reach, and what is your philanthropic behavior. Is this behavior that you help third countries in some dedicated projects, or you're doing project finance itself? How this is look like? Meaning there are several aspects that should be taken into account, but yes, it is also a key aspect.
Yeah. And then last question, for family offices who are looking in the sustainability space, what are the 3 things that you would say are key to getting their approach right here?
I would say the first thing is that they will have, a common understanding in which direction they would like to go. Of course, for them will be also key to understand, beside of the regulatory landscape, where there are the ambitions. Ambition in the way there are kind of several strategic archetypes. You can be pragmatism, do kind of a minimum. You can be in particularly a front runner or an idealist. When you be philanthropy, then go in an idealist way. But what means that concrete? You have a focus on dedicated industries where you would like to promote or in the society. And this will be key. And based on that and all the environment, then it's, how to link that with your investment strategy, particularly, how it links with your data, how it links, with your portfolio construction, because, it's key that when you set up your portfolio and you identify, we would like to be net zero on 2030, 2050, in particular, where you set your interims target, then you have to restart to decarbonize your portfolio. That leads to a reconstruction, recalibration of portfolios in the upcoming years. Otherwise, you will not reach the goal of net zero.
Yeah.
And here you have not reached an impact already. It's only net zero, and meaning impact can be even more.
Yeah. Well, Antonius, thank you so much for talking us through such a complicated and important topic. Have a good day.
Thank you for having me here, and looking forward. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Bye.